Hey everybody, please forgive me. I took a couple minutes to do a couple things around my house. But don't worry, I didn't forget to do both because, boy, okay, I have to say thank you, thank God, thanks so Jesus. Today was great, okay, because I got everything I wanted in a small package. Holy Christ, was it good? Okay, so this is also the end of the Fallout, I'd say. Well, I mean, I say that, but then it's family, so is it ever really done? That is the question. But anyway, that's too existential for today, and I don't have time. But I will cover that one day. Okay, now, what I got, what I wanted is what I got. Okay, because, okay, we have Fallout on 3 or 4 levels. I say 3 or 4 because it depends on how you count. Electra's pissed at Will because he didn't tell her about the jewelry line and the Hope for the Future diamond. That's level 1. Level 2, uh, Brooke is still pissed at Katie and kind of pissed at Hope but more pissed at Katie because as Katie stole her daughter from the company, um, whatever. Okay. Level number 3 is uh, that Hope has to deal with the fact that her mother does not approve, agree, or whatever with the choice she made. Whatever. Okay. Level 4 is all the family strife because now I talked about for a good couple weeks, I know, about a major kaboom. Oh, well, I guess in 4 is that what's the Forrester had to cancel their fashion show, whatever, because okay, now get this, because of the hype that Logan was getting, and they were looking online and saying everybody's talking about Hope and all this stuff, and they won't care about us, so we have to cancel the fashion show. Okay, so that's the 4 levels. Okay, let's counter this one by one. The thing with Electra and Will is stupid. Okay, honey, he's your boyfriend. I get it, but he doesn't have anything to you. Okay, he was sworn. Okay, number one, he was sworn to secrecy. Number two, it's a jewelry line. Get over yourself. Okay, level number 2. Hold on. Hold 30 seconds. Sorry, I had to text somebody. Okay, so where was I? Level 2, the family drama, the family whatever. Okay, now the reason I was so up in arms for 2 days was because I knew there was going to be drama and I knew there was going to be a bit of fallout. But I just don't like it when people scream at other people, number one. And number two, Katie didn't do anything wrong. And Hope didn't do anything wrong. But Heather Tom, Heather Tom is my girl. I will stand beside her every day of my life. But did they give her all the dialogue today? All of it. Because, okay, now you gotta imagine the scene. I'm gonna try to give you a visual representation of the scene. I'm gonna do my best here. Okay, imagine it. Katie Heather Tom is in a black dress over here. And then Catherine Kelly is in a red dress, and they're at least 6 feet apart. Okay? Brooke is still yelling at Katie for all the same stuff. I don't have to go through it all, but imagine Brooke yelling at Katie. Okay? And Katie finally stood up for herself and said, "Excuse me, but I didn't do anything wrong. And I have created something here. I'm creating something here." And then Brooke, right then, says, "What have you created? You created nothing." And I was like, whoa. Then Katie says, and about Hope. Hope is a grown woman, and she has free will. Now, I'm going to take credit for that, because what I said yesterday was, I don't know what's wrong with these people. Hope is a grown-ass woman with a child and a husband. So she took kind of what I said and used it. So thank you. Okay. Then she said, why can't you just forgive me? Why can't this just be over? Why can't we agree to disagree and be sisters? We are sisters. And I have forgiven you time and time again. Then, a thing I love, they don't do too much anymore, is they do flashbacks. Now, I've talked about the flashback before. Flashback. I'm going to do term school today. Flashback is a term that means a scene they shot either last week, last year, or 10 years ago that they show to illustrate what the character is talking about, so that you know what they're fighting about or what the situation is about. Okay? The problem I have with flashbacks is sometimes they use them too much, but when they use them right, it's dynamite. Okay, so as Katie is saying, I've forgiven you for a lot, and I've forgiven you for stealing my husband twice, and they show the scenes, and I'm like, oh man, she's got the receipts. Okay, so Heather Tom wins hands down performance of the year, performance of maybe the decade, although she always brings it, so she'll probably do another performance that I consider performance of the decade. But okay, getting off of that for a minute. Okay, so then everybody else rallies around Hope. Her husband, Bill, everybody. It's like, can we be excited about what happened here? Like, yay. I'm like, all right. She's got support. She's got support. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Now, getting back to Katie and Brooke a little bit. Okay. The last scene. I think it was the last scene. Yeah, the last scene. Okay. So it really looks like they're gonna fight. Okay, because this one's over here, the other one's over there, and they're coming toward each other, and it looks like it might be fisticuffs. And I'm like, oh. And then Hope, they tell Annika Noel to like walk in there at that moment, and she literally spreads them apart, like physically separates them. And I'm like, whoa. And then she says, and then Catherine Kate Lang says, well, you don't have to stay here. Something like that. You don't have to stay here. I'm going to take you back to Forrester, where you belong, to your real family. And I was like, what? And then Heather Tom is looking at Annika Noel and saying, kind of with her eyes, you know, you're my family too. We're family too. So I'm like, and then of course they cut because they're going to give, it looks like they're going to give Hope, the character, the final decision on which way she goes. So then, which kind of makes sense, but kind of doesn't because it does because she can make her own choices. But it doesn't because if it's going to create strife and this young woman is going to hold all the whatever of the whole family, that's not right either. So, but at least they're ending this. So it should end by the end of the week. Like the whole, like, this whole thing, it should end by the end of the week. Oh, and then another part is like a small part. Okay. The reason also why Brooke was mad at Katie is because she said something like, come on, you've been in PR for years. You want me to believe that you didn't do this stuff on purpose and schedule stuff? So you knew that if you scheduled it such and such, we'd have to cancel ours. Come on. You want me to believe that? And I was like, oh, yeah, she was. But ultimately, I don't think that Katie, the character, had it in her mind to like screw over her family or something like that. I really don't think that. And then, of course, Brooke goes into like, you care more about dollars than other stuff. What is wrong with you, Katie? And I'm like, oh, don't even start. So, anyway, there's the most encapsulated thing I can do for all that drama. But man, Heather Tom, yay! Thank you. Speaking for the little people. And in this case, talking about me. Thank you. Bye, everybody.